This is a SnapEd New York video presentation.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here today doing a food demonstration for the Farm to Preschool program. This is brought to you by the Eat Well, Play Hard, and Child Care Settings program. Today we are going to be making a strawberry salsa. All the fruits and vegetables that you see here have been washed beforehand, and I have already washed my hands, so we're just going to jump right into the recipe. What you can see here is something I like to call mise en place. Mise en place is a French term that means everything in its place. So what we did was we just grabbed all of our ingredients from the recipe, which I can show you now, and we put them together in small containers so we know we have everything that we need for the recipe. So let's begin. We're going to start off by taking the strawberries and we're going to chop off the little green tops. And we're going to do this by using a knife safety method called the claw. So you take your hand, you claw your fingers up, and you just put the knife right against your knuckles, and this will prevent you from cutting your finger. So we're just going to do this and take our strawberry and very safely, using the claw, chop it up into bite-sized pieces. Next up, we're going to move on to the peppers. Now this recipe actually calls for 3 different colored peppers: an orange pepper, a red pepper, and a green pepper. Now the reason we're using all these different colors is because every color has different nutrients to offer. So this is why we like to say that you want to eat a rainbow. Your plate should look like a rainbow. The more colors you have, the more nutrients you are providing yourself with. So all I've done is I chopped off the top, and then it made it really easy to remove the seeds and the stem. And I just threw that to the side, and now I'm going to get started with chopping my pepper. And again, we're going to chop this up into bite-sized pieces for our recipe. And if you don't have a particular pepper color, that's okay. You could use all one pepper color. But what we're trying to do is include as many colors as possible to have different nutrients. For the peppers, you need about half a cup. So we're just going to measure it out. And we have a little over half a cup, but what we'll do is we'll save the rest for some snacking, which you could have with some hummus, or if you're going to use your salsa to top tacos, you could even chop up and throw with whatever you're putting in your tacos. So there we have half a cup of our peppers. One very important thing I want to share with you guys regarding choosing peppers is you want to make sure that when you're choosing peppers that they have smooth skin and are firm. You want to make sure they don't have any soft spots or wrinkled skin. So this will apply to bell peppers and also the jalapeno pepper that we will be chopping up in a little bit. So next we're going to chop up our red onion. You could use a regular onion if you'd like. However, Miss Sam really thinks red onion has the most flavor. So I like to cut it in half because it makes it easier to peel the outside part back. And this particular recipe calls for slicing, so I'm going to do another chop in half. When you're cutting things that are browned, it's nice to find a flat surface to work on as well, so it's not rolling away and it's easier to get your claw on. So now it's easy to cut because it's flat, and now I could just slice it up pretty easily. It's got a nice flat surface to work with. Do some small bite-sized slices. So next we're going to chop our jalapeno. Miss Sam likes to put a glove on when she's chopping jalapenos. I wear contact lenses, so it can be very dangerous to chop a pepper and then touch your eyeballs, or if you have small children, to touch the children. So if you can, wear a glove or try to just be careful not to touch the seeds too much when you are de-seeding. So we're just going to cut it open, and you can use your knife or you could use a spoon to just pull the seeds out so you don't have to touch them as much if you don't have a glove available. Now the recipe calls for 1 whole jalapeno pepper, but just like the onion, if you think that might be too much for you, if you get a jalapeno that happens to have a lot of kick, which can happen, feel free to make it less than that. The very last step we have is going to be our lemon juice. So we're going to take our lemon and let's cut it in half. And we're going to try to squeeze 2 tablespoons out. I'm going to use my hand to try to catch any seeds. Another way to make sure you don't get seeds in your recipe is just like how I'm squeezing it into a separate cup as opposed to directly into the container. That way you can remove the seeds. If you squeeze it right into the recipe, you can risk not being able to find a few of those seeds in there. So that might be 2 tablespoons. So we have our strawberries. Measure it and see if we need to do a little more. Maybe a little bit more. All right.
So now I ask that you take all your pre-measured main ingredients from your mise en place and toss them together so we could add the final 2 taste items to our recipe.
Okay, so next we're going to take some of our cilantro. Miss Sam's just going to take a little bit. What I like to do is I like to just tear off the leaves and try to get as much of the leaves as I can in the recipe. This is a fun thing for kids to do, help you out within the kitchen. Tear off some of the leaves. Now the stem won't hurt you. It's okay to get some stem in there. It's totally fine. Another thing that I like to mention as I am taking the leaves off of this cilantro is that you can substitute many of the ingredients in this recipe. So if it's strawberries are not in season and you have a lot of ripe peaches, you can throw peaches in there. If it's winter, you can buy a frozen mango and chop up frozen mango in the recipe and make mango salsa. which goes great on fish tacos. So there's a lot of ways to alter a recipe. Also, if you have an allergy to strawberry, bell pepper, onion, lemon, cilantro, any of the ingredients in this recipe, you can substitute other ingredients. Something you could substitute the peppers for is you can add cucumber to this, which would be very refreshing. So now that I've taken most of my stems out, this is going to be a lot of cilantro now that I see it. So I'm just going to chop up this now.
So now we're going to add our final ingredients to the recipe, which is first our tablespoon of vegetable oil. So we're going to go ahead and measure it out. And then after you measure, feel free to drizzle over your recipe. Then we're going to take a little bit of cilantro. The recipe calls to taste for these last ingredients, so no measuring needed. Just go ahead and add a pinch of the pepper, the salt, and then after that you want to give it a good stir. I like to put mine in the refrigerator to chill, and then it's ready to go. Strawberry salsa to top your tacos or to put on top of salad. It will be all ready.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you guys really enjoy your strawberry salsa. Again, I just want to remind you, if you are allergic to any of these ingredients, there are many options for substitutions that we have mentioned in the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. We know the healthy choice isn't always the easiest choice, but small changes can make a big difference. Start today by getting involved with SNAP Ed New York. This program is free for those who qualify or receive SNAP benefits. We want to help you save time, save money, and eat healthy. Learn how SNAP Ed can make a difference in your life. For more information and to find your local program, visit snapedny.org. This material is funded by USDA's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP. This institution is an equal opportunity provider.